Oh boy, we are back. With Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth 2, I'm sorry for the delay. Things have happened. Pray for this emulator. Because I had an update, and everything went to shit, and I think I fixed it. I did some tests and it should be fine. The audio has been corrupted for the last 3 episodes, and I'm very sorry about that. I really hope that doesn't happen this time. We gotta finish this. I need to know what's going on. We are suspecting the warden now. And I need to hear what she has to say for herself. Until we do, we cannot close this case. Yeah, until I get this shit working, we can't close it either. So we've got to get it done. Ma'am, did you frickin' do it? Oh, my goodness. Everyone with such scary faces. So, I'm the only one who could have been the murderer? That just cannot be. Yeah? You gonna tell me about it? Yes. Girl, I am here for your rebuttal. Why I can't be the killer? Why was there a question mark on the end of that? Didn't seem right. I heard all about the case from Justine Darling here. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. But I couldn't have moved the body. I never went into the prison. I was caught up in my work. Until the show, I was stuck in my office. Check up on it if you like. You'll find there's no record of me entering the prison. Okay. I don't know what reasoning you had, but I can say for sure. I cannot be the killer. But Missile balked at you, pal. You gotta be the culprit. Oh, heavens. Oh, it's not possible. I already told you I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, why don't you check the records? She wants us to check the records. She does seem confident. For now, all we can do is listen to her and try to draw out more information. What records do we have? Do we even have records of that? I do hope you understand, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, I understand. But it's gotta be you. There's like nobody left. So that's what we're going with. I heard all about the case from Justine Darling. I don't think I need to press this, but this is probably the last testimony, so I'm gonna press everything. From Judge Courtney, are you two close? Oh, asking the important questions. As close as fish in water, are you jealous? A little. Jealous? On the first day of the investigation, she followed us in on the situation. In exchange for our cooperation, she explained the details of the case to us. How could you say that? You're so mean, Justine Darling. The truth is the truth. I believe it should be told as such. For some reason, those two seem kind of... Oh, is there a Dogen about that? Oh, scary. Well, Edgeworth is scared by women. We already know this. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. Can you tell me more about that? The murder occurred inside the cell. How can you be so certain about that? Well, everywhere else would have been under surveillance, right? And the victim's blood was found there too. That blood was actually from when he was struck by Albert, but I don't think it's necessary to inform her of this fact. That doesn't mean it's proven. You do know that. But I see no contradictions in assuming the crime scene was at the detention center. Oh, she's trying to... Ew, she's trying to turn this around. But I couldn't have moved the body. I never went into the prison. I'm still not seeing what we should press here. I'm just gonna do it all and hope that something comes up. That's what I usually do. You never went into the prison. Do you have proof of it? Yeah, do you? My. Can't you wait for me to finish? Yeah, Edgeworth, damn. I don't know. I was caught up in my work. Up until the show, I was stuck in my office. Okay, tell me more about that. You were in your office the whole time? Nothing strange happened? No, nothing at all. Were you looking for something? I'm not too good at tidying up. I always forget where I put everything. Oh. Well, that's why you gotta organize shit. The other day, I even lost track of an important piece of evidence. Well, how could you have made such a grave error? If someone were to take something from me, I wouldn't even notice it the entire year. Oh god, I don't know. Sorry, I was getting a little disgusting. I don't know if that's a good thing to admit. I guess it'd be hard to attack with the key to the breaker room. Oh, right, because we were gonna go with the fact that that was hers. Is she gonna say that, like, someone took it from her and she just didn't know? That's what she was setting up for there. On the day of the incident, I was working in my office and searching for lost items. In other words, I couldn't have gone to the prison, even if I had wanted to. Check up on it if you like. You'll find there's no record of me entering the prison. Where are we supposed to check? Is there a place that I'm not thinking of? You did not enter the prison from the entrance? But what if there was another route? Oh my. Are you suggesting something like a secret passage? Secret passage? I don't know if anything like that exists. What about the garden? Isn't there a way, like, to her office from there? It is my firm belief you did possess an alternate route. That route was neither the entrance nor a secret passage. Wait a minute. The route you used was from here. Oh, it's gotta be then. It's gotta be what I said, right? The garden, perhaps. We haven't seen in there, so we don't know. Ooh, okay. Try it. The barbed wire fence? You would have moved nightly to your office first. This office leads directly to the garden side of the courtyard. If you had moved through here and past the barbed wire fence, you would have arrived at the prison without passing through the entrance or a tunnel. That's right. Okay. Oh, here comes the music. I love it. I wonder what Mr. Edgeworth is saying. Haven't you noticed? There's a high voltage current running through the fence. Yeah, obviously she couldn't have passed through like that. The current to the fence could be switched off with the breaker. Sorry, guys. And you were the only one who had the key, Warden Roland. Justine, what are you doing? Most amusing, however, the breaker room is located on the prison side of the courtyard. How would the warden have accessed it from the detention center? Oh yeah, how would she have done? Ah, quite right. Gotcha there, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh, that's... If there is no record of her passing through the prison entrance, it would not have been possible for her to turn off the fence's breaker. So now that I know that Courtney and Justine are, like, doing the hootie together, obviously she's gonna stand up for her, right? So now I've got both of them to contend with. But Warden Roland was the only one who had access. What does it mean? Don't let this faze you, Miles. But if I don't have a solution for this, she'll get away. Now, Uncle Ray never said don't think, you know. It's just not good to be so stubborn about it, that's all. But no matter how you think about it, Warden Roland couldn't have done this alone. Couldn't have done it alone! Stop! I know. I know who it is. I know who it is now. I know. It's starting to make sense, I think. If I'm right. I am not amused, interrupting my judgment only to be silent. Without thinking, I just blurted out objection. I have to answer. I won't let this end here. My reasoning is not over yet. So, how did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center? It's perfectly possible. With this method. What made it possible to turn off the breaker? She had an accomplice. And I think I know who it is. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And now I'm seeing why we got certain evidence to point to this that didn't make sense earlier. It was indeed impossible for one person, but what if there were two? Exactly, just what I expected from you, Miles. Yes, you had an accomplice on the prison side. What do you mean, girl? Enough. I'm disappointed in you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What's that, pal? You making fun of Mr. Edgeworth? The inmates at this prison all wear bracelets. Hey, guess what? Except for one who had theirs broken. If they try and go where they please, they'll set off the alarm. Oh! So you've noticed this is a prison after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards too are under constant scrutiny. So why didn't anyone notice Elbert? Yeah, that's true. He also freaking got away at that point. The only ones allowed to move around freely are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker. But it's still possible that a person did it. Keep screaming at me all you want, I'm about to get it to you. Excluding the inmates and the guards, just what kind of person would you say it was? We can't exclude the inmates and guards just yet. There was only one person, one whose movement was not restricted. Oh, ew. This evidence shows that there was someone in the prison who could move around freely. Do we still have the bracelet from Sawit? We do! This is it. I couldn't remember if that was taken away or not. Oh my god, it all makes sense. That is, it looks like the bracelet worn by the prisoners. This belongs to a certain model inmate, and it's broken. What? Just who on earth does this belong to? We know. Frank Sawit, the warden's favorite inmate. Oh no. Oh. Girl, I got a my face look like that does sometimes too. Ew, the fox is licking her face. Oh man. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life. Golly, when you think about it, it shouldn't be possible. Are you okay over there, zombie lady? I'd hazard a guess that this was because he was a special case. Just like Sir and Dogen in the special cell. The prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture. No, it's not, girl. Huh. You could find out by simply asking Sawit himself. It is my firm belief that Mr. Sawit and Warden Roland were partners in crime. Due to their collaboration, another route surfaces. The real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in the front of Knightley's cell, and the electric fence in the courtyard. Both these problems could have been solved with a single stroke. Oh, by having Sawit switch off the breakers in the breaker room. Who's that? Who's holding it? Oh, it's you. You don't have a hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait one moment? Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Roland? Oh, I give in. I confess. Warden Roland! No, this cannot be. Yes, it's just as he says. Frank Sawit and I were partners in crime. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Well done, Miles. At last, we've the real culprit cornered. Wait, no, she's gonna spin something here, I know it. Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frankie operated the breaker. But they were not responsible for Knightley's murder. Yeah, I knew it. She's gonna spin it somehow. No, sir. No, ma'am. Warden Roland, whatever do you mean? Judge Courtney, would the goddess of law hear my confession? The goddess of law is merciful. She will absolve you. I was being threatened. That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told. Ain't nobody falling for this. So, who was threatening you? Sir and Dogen, that assassin. Dogen? It's been going on since that man came to the prison. I will never forget that day. Wait, is this real? Because I thought she was about to make something up. Oh. He just likes you, girl. That's all there is to it. When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me, Hey, girl. You got a butt that just won't quit. Oh. I have many dogs outside the prison. Dogs? Loyal dogs who obey my every command. I soon realized what Dogen referred to were not really dogs, but his human henchmen. And that's not all he said. Wait a minute, I thought he was an assassin that worked by himself with the dog. You'd better watch how you treat me, if you don't want you and your family to become dog food. Oh, I see. I had no choice. I gave him the special cell. I gave him anything he desired. Anything he desired? You don't mean the supplier? That's right. Anything he ordered, I would deliver to him. An underground dealership. She was the supplier. I was the one who won over Frankie. It was simple. I just offered him special privileges within the prison. And these underground dealings. Oh boy. Once a week in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off 2 of the breakers, so I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security camera. I would go past the fence, drop the goods down the well near the prison, and that's why the passage was dug to his cell. Then I'd sprinkle this perfume over it. So, that's the true identity of the sweet scent. Oh, I thought it was the apples. I'm dumb. The scent of perfume was a signal for Dogen's dog. After picking up the scent, it would carry the goods to Dogen. Of course, this had to be done while Albert was away from his cell. I'm surprised he never found out about it, pal. We have a strict timetable here at the prison. Mealtime, exercise time, it's easy to know when he's away. I see. And since little Rocky is afraid of Dogen's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise. So, having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries herself. This would have ensured there were no slip-ups. Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning and the delivery was complete. I then modified the timestamp on the security camera. You have told us a great deal. The goddess of law accepts your penitent confession. As the warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also a delivery day. It seems Frankie was working the breakers as usual, but that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all. The secret of the supply system. So then Warden Roland was... The police have been searching for Dogen's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but not really. I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... No matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him. So that was all. So, the reason you kept on interrogating him? Yes, it was to find his henchmen. Oh, she's hiding. I borrowed all the evidence from the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on all his actions and examined all of his mail. Mail? Like his correspondence, chess letters. But I could never uncover the true identity of his henchmen. Despair. It's something you could never understand. I see. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you were listening, right? I'd say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion. What do you mean? She's still in big trouble. Is it really necessary to press her further than this? Is it necessary to press her further? Psh, listen. 99.9%. If they're asking you this in one of these games, you absolutely do it. I think there's only been one time that's been wrong. Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either. You mean to badger this woman further? Even if she was threatened by Dogen. This does not prove she was not the culprit in the case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body. Do you have any evidence to support it? The body gave off a sweet scent. The scent of perfume that was used to signify delivery. Can you explain it? Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent would have lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it. Mr. Albert also testified to this fact. That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent? Yo, Adrian, I don't know what it was, but it smells sweet like candy and shit, yeah? I don't know, guys, I don't know. The lingering scent in the well would, of course, be picked up by anything passing through. Oh, the defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned. We're not in court, by the way. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do? What should I do? Is this as far as I can go? Is it over already? Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned. Ma'am, we're not in court. I know you're a judge, so you gotta know that. We're not there. Who's holding it? What are we holding? Hello? Who? What's that? Ray, you got something? Yo, it's not nice of you to adjourn things just like that, Courtney Pie. Mr. Shields. Are you objecting to the court adjourning? We're not in court! Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields? Whoa there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate? Me? Is this a joke? You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. As Simon Key's attorney. That's right. You're the defense attorney in charge of the case, aren't you? Exactly. Did you all forget, man? God, that's mean. But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all. Facts. These are facts. Yeah, that's right. That's why I thought I'd do my job a bit. Oh, well, how nice. Thanks for joining us. Do your job. That hardly sounds like you at all. It's to prepare for the trial, man. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions. Surely you jest. What more could you expect to hear from her? Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit. My thoughts? Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out. You gonna do it? Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shields up to? He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. Why was the supply route used to transport the body? I'd say it was to pin the crime on Dogen. Oh, I see. If he committed a murder here, he would be transferred to another prison. One with tied to security, right, and then she'd be rid of him. That would be more useful for her. And that would get rid of the troublemaker. Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that. Yo, hey, well, guys, hold on a second. A culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to prosecute. Exactly. So wouldn't it be better if the best also listened to what she has to say? Amazing, Mr. Shields. You managed to drag Mr. DeBest into it, too. Alright, the girls are not impressed today. Warden Roland is acceptable. What are you gonna say, girl? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You understand a woman's heart. Oh, thank you, mademoiselle. Actually, I've thought this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you, Justine, darling? Of course. You may speak. Mr. Shields, awesome! Whoa, that was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. Yeah, no, man, I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said. The defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on our shoulders, after all. Be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you'll never give up. Right. Well then, will you listen to my story? Yeah, I guess. We've got more bottle. Okay. My story. I believe that the culprit in this case could only have been Dogen. I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. It simply could have been that Dogen was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of the body. This is the truth of the case. Now I'm not sure what to think, guys. I'm serious. The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it is a truly terrible thing. Taking a man's life, you mean? That's how you'd go about saying it, isn't it? If only I had been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I wanted to clear up his regrets. Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude. Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? I doubt it. Alright. I'm pressing everything. Believe the culprit in this case could only have been Dogen. Okay. You seem very confident of that. How can you be so sure? The children of this home are all good little boys and girls. Believe in yourself, believe in your friends, and believe in me and the gods. There's no way any of these hardworking children could have committed a murder. Quite an emotional reason. Makes sense coming from someone like her. Only Dogen would be capable of something like that. Well, she's also afraid of him, though, too. I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. Well, we know a little bit. Knightley was being held in the detention center, and Dogen was in the prison. They couldn't make any contact. Don't you think that would prevent trouble? Well, the prison is quite confined, right? There were many ways for them to meet. Knightley was murdered days before he would have been sentenced to prison. Surely there weren't many ways a meeting could have occurred. Even without a direct meeting, Dogen can still cause trouble. Mark my words. It simply could have been that Dogen was displeased with him. I don't know. What could Knightley have done in the detention center to displease him? Well, I mean, other than winning at chess. Is that what we're going with? That was just an example. You don't have to take it so seriously. Didn't I already say that I have no idea what transpired between them? Nevertheless, you certainly are a serious one, Edgeworth, dear. What's this? That piercing gaze. Always standing straight and stiff. Oh, very nice. Looking very clever, my dear. I think I'm about to become your biggest fan. Oh. Well, you are pretty stiff. Mr. Edgeworth, stay focused. It's just a flesh wound. Right. Is this some form of psychological warfare? Damn it. She got to him. I'm surprised by that. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. Well, how do you know about that? Tell me more about that. Seems important. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder. Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I learned that the victim had some kind of injury to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that. Booking. That's the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center. Well, that does sit right with what we know about him. It sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley. I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for Dogen. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. The victim wouldn't even have had a chance to scream. I see. Your opinion will be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony? Wait a minute. The chessboard? Knightley hid a chisel in it in order to get past security. Oh, hang on a minute then. Is she gonna add that? Oh, you're making me blush. You're so C-U-T-E. You are cute, Edgeworth, though. I'm just kidding. I'll continue. Oh shit, no, you're not cute. I'm sorry. Perhaps you used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. Wait a minute now. Ma'am! You need to stop. Warden Roland, you certainly are sharp-witted. Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Patty. P-A-T-T-Y. Whoa. However, there's something you were a little too knowledgeable about. How did she know it was there? Is what I'm getting at here. Embarrassed? You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth, dear. I mean, true. Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth. You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard? Oh, of course! The entrance check! Oh, no, we already went through this. No, girl. Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check? The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keyes. He didn't even have it when he arrived here. Girl. How the fuck did you know it was in there? That's my mistake. I meant the parcel check. Even if we assume that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated? Oh, girl, your code is alive, I think. Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to this chessboard? I did not. I'm surprised she told the truth there. I was worried about that. If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or parcel check. Certainly. Someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by. Exactly. So answer this, Warden Roland. When and how did you learn about the chessboard's secret? What you gonna say, girl? It's not looking good now. In that case, I shall answer for you. Because... I give up, Edgeworth, dear. It's as you say. Huh? I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about the chessboard. But, please believe me, I didn't kill anyone. Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. No objections here. Thank you, Edgeworth, dear. I'll do my best. You're gonna have to how many times are you gonna revamp this, though? Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there'll be no lies from here on out. Her pool of lies is slowly running dry. Soon I'll bring her true nature. Again, the third time. Can't you just tell the damn truth? My story part 2. I wouldn't go so far as to call it an interrogation. Oh, sorry, I usually read in their voice. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Mr. Knightley, yes, we had a little chat. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you. He went right back to his cell? What? She's piling lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck. 1 second. 1 second here. What am I looking for? That stuck with me somehow. 1 second. What am I looking for? Next move is bishop to g2. Next I move rook, no pawn to g... Security footage, security gate, tunnel footprints, autopsy report, the chisel. Bells we still have. Oh, brother. Alright, fine. Just press everything. This is going to be a long episode. My god, I hope the emulator holds up for this. You speak with the new prisoners, you say? That's right! I'm glad you understand. Your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding. Well then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. Thanks. I was going to. Alright, so many buts. I wouldn't go so far as to call it an interrogation. I guess we have to press everything now. I mean, there's no choice, even if it doesn't seem right. You're certain you interrogated him the day before the show? Yes, around 3 a.m. on the 27th. 3 at night? That matches the time of death on Knightley's autopsy report. You summoned him that late at night, and he wasn't asleep? Well, a guard was attacked in Knightley's cell, remember? After that incident, we checked his cell and inquired about the circumstances. I'm sure all that excitement made it hard to sleep. Knightley was wide awake, you know. So, even though it was highly irregular, you still carried out this late-night interrogation? Edgeworth, dear, you're so mean. Oh. It may have been irregular, but the truth is I had him moved. That whole thing is an innuendo, stop. You can call it what you like, it still doesn't change the fact. Please excuse him, I'll give him my incompetent apprentice a good scolding later. Hey! But for now, mademoiselle, what did you mean when you said you had him moved? I thought it was obvious, monsieur. I spoke to him in my office. Her office? The route she used to move Knightley's body. Please add that statement to your testimony. Oh, of course. Around 3 a.m. the day before the show, the victim was brought into my office. Okay. Where's your office located exactly? You know that sign in the detention center hallway? You mean the one that says no entry? Yes, it's just a short walk up that aisle, about 5 minutes from the cell block. I've heard that room exits into the courtyard. Of course! That side of the courtyard is my private garden. Oh, I get it. You're going to say you used that route to move the body. Indeed. You must have been able to use it, if you used that route. For now, that is merely a possibility. There is no decisive evidence to support it. But there is no other way the body could have been moved. Oh, here we go. Surely you haven't forgotten my theory that Simon Keyes dropped the body in the well. That's right, man, that's right. What she said. You're still here? Pursuing this point further would be hazardous. Alright, let's move on. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Well, I mean, I feel that that's probably true. What did you talk about? What indeed? It was just trifling conversation. What kind of animals he liked, what his hobbies were, that sort of thing. Hobbies? I assume he mentioned chess. Oh yes, that's all Knightley would ever talk about. Now that I think about it, the note he had in his room. Oh, she knows about that. The memo. It probably had something to do with chess too. So Warden Roland saw Knightley's note. So she did see that, okay. Mr. Knightley, yes, we had a little chat. And what was Knightley like during the interrogation? He was very honest. Mr. Knightley was? Honest, pal? He also talked about a croissant in some kind of promo. And passant and chess piece promotions, I presume? Looks like he was his usual chess-loving self. A croissant, that's what I would have said. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you. Okay. If he really returned to his cell, there's no way he would be a corpse now. I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but I couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley, could I? Dogen was the only one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim. Wait, yes he does, though. She only hated Dogen. Please add that statement to your testimony. Wait a minute. No connection to the victim. But we do have a connection, even though it's small, and I don't know if it means anything in the end. But we have this as connection. Oh, girl. Yes. There is a connection, and you knew that there was. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look. Look at this paper. It looks like a record of a chess game. Is there something wrong with it? This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Roland, you also discovered this note in the very same place. And not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dogen's too, correct? What are you... Don't say that you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. Yeah, you probably got it for him. After all, you would have kept an eye on Dogen's actions down to the smallest detail. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dogen that you needed to keep an eye on. The warden was searching for Mr. Dogen's henchman. From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally. She thought Knightley was one of his. It makes sense, since he used his henchmen to threaten harm to her family. Warden Roland interrogated Dogen to expose them. So, what are you saying? As you inspected Dogen's mail, you must have known that he played correspondence chess. And then Knightley appeared, with a chess memo in hand. We deduced that he and Dogen were connected. You must have arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen, who had come to kill you. So, that's why you interrogated Knightley boy. If the boss won't crack, go after his henchmen. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel. The murder weapon! To Warden Roland, the chisel was a symbol of Dogen, and that was the final straw. Right, because they both had them. You believed Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen and you killed him. You did, didn't you, dear? It seems there will be no rebuttal. Judge Courtney, your verdict. Though it is incredibly unfortunate, there seems to be no room for doubt. This is gonna be a long episode. I pray that we're... God, guys, pray that this works. I shall announce my verdict for the murder of Horace Knightley. Someone said hold it. Who is it? Twice my sacred verdict has been interrupted. Who was that? Girl... Warden Roland? Oh, how strange. You guys really don't understand anything. It would seem the one who doesn't understand is you. Me? Oh, I understand one thing very well. Oh my god. There is a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh. When she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Paid no heed. Judge Courtney, your verdict, please. I am interested in hearing what the warden has to say. What? I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say. One? Please, look at this autopsy report. The autopsy report? The one I brought with me? I heard exactly what you said earlier, Justine, darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? No way! Could that tiny chisel really have made a wound 4 inches deep? Impossible! How could I have made such an error? Oh, forgive me, goddess of law. Wait! Well, I believe that overturns your hypothesis. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? What do we do? It'll be alright, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always... Wait, why are we bringing this up now? Whoa, hey now, he's gone all white. Hey, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing. Make some earth-shattering objection. Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but without decisive evidence, we're just whipping a dead horse here. Aw, man, don't say that. Does that mean it's hopeless? I don't think so. Well, I hope not. The true killer is Warden Roland. If it's not her, then nothing that's happened fits. But the chisel isn't the murder weapon. Are there any other sharp objects here? There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. There are? Oh, what are we gonna do? We gotta stop this. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at the present time. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a chance. I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I'm so sorry. The next one might be short. Or long. I don't even know. In the next one, we'll figure out if we have the evidence to solve this. I thought we were gonna end it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it's so crazy. I'll see you soon in the next episode. Pray tell, I hope. Pray for the emulator. Pray for me. See you later, guys, and thanks so much for watching. Toodaloo.